Hello, and welcome to Dice Friends. This is episode 1 of Fang and Claw, using the 3rd edition of Over the Edge from Atlas Games. My name is Dale Friesen. I'm running the game tonight. We will tell you a little bit about the setting and what's going on, but before you know any of that, we're going to introduce the players and their characters to you. Andy, who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, my name is Andrew Cadden. I'm playing Patterson, who is an interrogation expert on loan from the Canadian government. Yes.
Thanks. Ian?
I'll be reprising my role as Arthur Kleinman, former locksmith? Question mark?
Okay, Kathleen?
I am Vera Chow. I am a pharmacist. I'm a very good pharmacist. I'm a very good and successful and expensive pharmacist. Please contact me if you need anything compounded.
Lovely, thank you. All right, so this game is set on the island of Alamarha. It's an equatorial island. It's a lovely destination. It is a place with a lot of rules that are enforced through various means. It is a libertarian location. So if you want things enforced, you're going to be paying someone to enforce them for you. Examples of rules would be that things like caffeine are considered a drug. So you can only get caffeine at a place that's licensed as a drug dispensary. But what this means is that if you're running a coffee shop, you're going to go out and you're going to buy the license to be able to dispense drugs. And it's one license that covers all types of drugs. So when you're walking in and they're saying, "What do you want in your latte?" you have a lot of options. The city on the island where this game is starting out is called The Edge. It is a place where there are a lot of weird things that happen, but somehow the world rarely finds out about them.
Mm-hmm.
As we begin, the players are waiting to meet their patron. So all of the players will be having some sort of background relationship to her, presumably, even if it's just, well, she contacted me and offered a job. And I am interested in hearing about those. But we're going to do some other things first. In fact, the very first thing I want everybody to do is roll your dice. So, you have 2 6-sided dice. And, Andy, what did you get?
I got 2 2s.
You got a 2 and a 2. Well, that's doubles right off the bat. That's interesting. All right. Ian, how did you do?
Snake eyes!
Kathleen?
Would you believe I got 2 5s?
Wow!
Okay.
Huh. So the group currently has what's known as karma. So when the group has karma, anyone can say, "Hey, I'm using the karma." Mm-hmm. And the one thing the rules definitely allow you to do with karma is to re-roll one of your dice. Basically, at any time. You should explain why karma is helping you. Give some story on this re-roll. But the karma is there. When we did this before in a physical place, and when I play this sort of in a game shop or at home, I have a thing that I put in the table whenever anybody has karma, and you can grab it and you say, "Ha, I'm using the karma." And that's a reminder, A, there is karma, and B, it it gets used up. We're just going to be clever and remember this time.
Okay. Does that mean we have 3 karmas or just the one?
It means karma is a Boolean value. So you started with no karma, and then you had karma, and then you have karma, and now you have karma.
Okay.
It's a bitch.
But I feel like, this is just a really good quality of karma.
Okay.
It's a very rich karma. It's got a thickness to it.
Excellent.
Mm.
Like that tactile karma.
We've all been good boys and girls.
So I have some questions for you. Every game of Over the Edge starts with questions. It might be each player asks another player a question. It might be the GM asks all of the questions. It might be a combination. Tonight I'm asking all of the questions. And we'll see how it goes. By default, these are out-of-character questions. If you want to add an in-character something, you can. I'm going to ask Arthur first. Hey, Arthur.
Yes, Dale.
When Dr. Fang triggers you to temporarily be more effective than usual, how does that work?
Well, it's interesting that you ask that. Turns out that jamais vu, the drug that is used to remove certain sections of your memory, is a recreational thing. Upon overdose, can remove quite a bit of your memory. Now, the reason for this is that the drug works by actually removing certain parts of your brain's access to the current timeline and putting them either in a state of outside of the timeline or possibly even into another timeline.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. So what's happening there is that parts of my brain, which have been permanently removed from the timeline due to an overdose, are being targeted back in. I don't know how this works, but I'm assuming that Dr. Fang has quite the control over this drug reversal therapy.
Interesting. That, or she knows how to swap bits from another timeline into your brain.
Mm-hmm.
I am inferring that so far, I'm inferring this from your response. Every time she has done this, it has been from the timeline where your stuff got dumped? Or are you suggesting that maybe sometimes she just grabs something from some other timeline altogether and drops it in there?
Oh no! So far, everything's been predictable, and the outcomes have been good, which is why I'm still here today.
I'm sure that's how things will continue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Patterson.
Yes.
Since you don't know that they are psychic in origin, what do you think that the whispers you can almost understand are that you've been hearing ever since you arrived on the island?
I think that I don't know their that I don't know their psychic in origin. What do I think they are? Where do I?
Yeah.
Is that the question?
Yeah.
I think that he thinks he's picking up radio signals in his fillings. I think that would be the only rational. Well, no, there are several rational things to that, but I think he's picking up secret radio signals through his teeth.
So does he have a lot of fillings?
I think he only has 2, but Patterson has a paranoid side to him, and I think he thinks someone is trying to talk to him through his teeth, or perhaps he's picking up things on a sort of sub wavelength he doesn't think of it as a psychic thing. He thinks as a technical anomaly in which he is being privy to secret conversations between people.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Vera.
Yes.
What happened in the airport just before you flew to Alamarha that you're hoping nobody finds out about?
Oh, it was definitely after I was cleared customs and waiting for my flight. I was going to buy a copy of Architectural Digest to read on the plane, but there was on the shelf the complete guide to Animal Crossing, and it had a picture of Sherb on the cover, and so I bought that instead. But then I bought Architectural Digest to go around the outside of it.
And where are those publications now?
Oh, they were both dumped in the recycling bin upon exit from my flight.
Okay. So you guys are in a cafe called Hop Shots. It's on the ground floor of the Bienvenidos Hotel in the Plaza of Flowers. This is where Dr. Fang reserved a table and told you to meet her. So, do you know each other? Is my first question. And what do you know about Dr. Fang?
Mm-hmm. What's Vera Chow's deal again? Where's she hailing from?
I don't know. New Zealand. She's a pharmacist.
Okay.
I hadn't thought it through.
That's perfect.
I like that you mentioned that, though, as if the two are connected.
Yeah. As far as I got. So I've got, like a slight accent, which I won't do. And, so I'm guessing I don't know either of you because I just got here. I was on a plane.
Yes, I think that Patterson is probably in the same boat. I think he doesn't, outside of his job, he wouldn't know Vera in that through his work or through, and he's all about work. He doesn't do much except work. And if it was someone, a pharmacist from New Zealand, probably hasn't encountered her before. What's Arthur Kleinman's what's his story there?
I've been living here in the edges about as long as I can remember.
Okay.
Like I say, as a locksmith, and occasionally Dr. Fang asks me to do some special jobs for her.
So, since you're talking, Arthur, why don't you tell us how you met Dr. Fang?
Ah, yes, that is the Dr. Fang. She's my. I'm not entirely sure. We've been working together so long. It's been. I feel like I've always been working for her.
Okay. Vera, how did you meet Dr. Fang?
I will say that the person I worked for in New Zealand made a recommendation and introduced me to her via email. And she said she had an interesting job for me. So I was like, I like interesting things and money.
All right. Patterson?
I'll try to do a character voice for this. I was told by my superiors in the Canadian government that this Dr. Fang person has done some very good things for them and their interests, and they owe her a big favor, and that is why I am here. I'm here today. I don't know much about her. I just know that I have to do what she wants me to do. And I am obligated through my contract with the Canadian government to fulfill whatever her interests are. I'm a little scared being here. I don't know anyone, and I don't know what's going on. But damn it, the voices in coming in through my teeth are leading to me believe that today is going to be a good day. So I'm looking forward to that.
Kathleen?
Is this something that Vera can hear? Are we like going around the table introducing ourselves? So I feel like if we can, I'm definitely going to refer to your character as 00A. because Vera's an asshole.
Well, I think that is just double okay.
So Patterson is here on his government salary. Or is this like, is he using vacation days for this?
No, I am here. I've been sent by the Canadian government at the behest of Dr. Fang, because they owe her a big favor, and so I am apparently needed by her, and I am the favor. I am here to fulfill whatever she needs, because the Canadian government is saying that this is something I have to do, and I, for reasons that I don't feel apt to disclose at this time, that is something that I must do.
I mean, when one gets a call from Prime Minister Mulroney, one does not hang up.
It's true. That I'll tell you what, that man can hold my attention. That I've never met a more persuasive politician in my life, to be honest with you.
So Dr. Fang arrives like 10 minutes after the last of you arrive. So if there's anything more you want to discuss as a group, you have time to do that. Otherwise, she's going to show up.
Mr. Kleinman, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, that's fine.
Good. I am to understand that you are a somewhat of a locks expert. Is that correct?
These experts might be putting it a little bit too much, but yeah, I've experienced this removing security apparatus.
I see. And where did you attain this skill set?
It's been so long I can hardly remember where I studied it. I've been doing this for at least 20 years. It must be.
No kidding. Well, that's I admire someone who is looking at the top of their craft, and I look forward to seeing you at work.
Thank you. And Mr. Patterson, may I ask, what part of the government did you work in when you were?
I'm an information acquisition. I go in wherever I'm needed, often getting there with a sack over my head, and I'm put in an interrogation room, and I get what is needed.
That sounds dangerous.
Oh, it's I try not to think about it. To be honest with you, it is no. If I dwell on it for any length of time, I tend to start screaming. So, but I enjoy my work. I'm told to enjoy my work, and that's what I do. And I happen to be very good at it, and good. Darn it! If that isn't what being alive is all about, I don't know what is.
The waitress comes by with your drinks. What is she serving each of you?
Oh,
I mean, it's a cup of coffee unless you say otherwise.
All right. It is a cup of coffee, but mine is some sort of elaborate pour over. The beans are referred to, there's some sort of geisha thing, and that means it's $12 for a cup of coffee.
I understand you two are relatively new to the edge here, but I will let you know, it's even though it is only 11 a.m., you can still get a pint of beautiful Creek here.
Beautiful what? Sorry?
It's got Creek. It's a German cherry beer. It's very fruity.
Well, that sounds delicious. I will have a clam juice. I will have a frothy pint of clam juice, cold preferably. I got to keep my head clear. Things can happen. You know.
Clam juice.
Clam juice.
You're
telling me you lived in New Zealand and you've never juiced a clam? I've got imported clam juice from New Zealand. My goodness, people don't get out.
I can perfectly understand you. I've always found the biggest problem with the Caesar is the unnecessary tomato juice.
Listen, and not to judge, by the way. If you've never had a clam juice, that just means you got a good thing coming, and I envy you. I envy you and the dead. Because I got nothing to worry about. Anyway, one clam juice for me.
So you get a cup of chowder.
Thank you. I start glug, 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 glug. Frothy.
I think that they have done their best with their geisha coffee, I suspect it is not done to Vera's specifications, but not for lack of effort on their part.
Right. I can taste there. It tastes enthusiastic yet poorly executed.
And they have a number of things on tap, one of which is presumably to Arthur's liking.
Wunderbar.
And then Dr. Fang is going to show up. And she gets a double espresso with some uppers and comes and sits down at the table. So thank you so much for coming. I have been needing to put together a team. I'm going to have a number of jobs for you. The other members should be arriving sometime in the next week. So since there are only the three of you, I'm going to give you the easiest mission first. So it's nice and straightforward, and hopefully will work well with your various talents. Now, I need you to go to the Hilton Hotel in Sunken. There are some reports of what are being called odd scorpions. So I want one. When you get outside, you'll see a lime green pet carrier that I have modified. Please pick that up, go to the Hilton, collect one of the odd scorpions, then text me to let me know it's done. Nice, easy mission. Once that's done, I'll have other stuff for you to do.
Fantastic. I do have one quick question here. You mentioned they are odd scorpions. I understand you have a good sense of humor, and I wonder if maybe the oddness of these particular scorpions is that they are not poisonous, yeah?
So I hope that's the case. I have never seen one, but I would like to see one. Arthur, I'm sure you remember that my particular passion is for the odd. And there are some other people in the Edge who always try to find the odd and have it for themselves. And sometimes I just want to get there first. So there's a rumor of weird scorpions. Great, go get me one. And I hope for your sake that Arthur's right. Any other questions?
I'm to understand that there are to be further jobs after this one. That's correct?
Yes, my understanding is that you're here for a month. This is certainly not going to take a month. I think you're going to go over there, you're going to pick one up, and you're going to text me.
Well, that sounds very straightforward. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Do we have any any sort of expense account for this work, or is this all out of
you
pocket?
have to ask your employer.
Oh, I see. Well,
I don't know what resources they gave you.
I'm hooped myself. But we'll figure it out. Figure it out. Darn it.
If the Canadian government's anything like the New Zealand government, I assume that you have a traveler's check.
I do. It's but it's printed on the back of a kids menu from a downscale diner. So I'm not sure if that will be accepted readily. But I've got it. I've got it right here. And he pulls it out. He pulls it out from his suit, and he waves it around, and he puts it back.
Good.
Unless you have any other questions, Dr. Fang's going to walk out.
So.
Sorry. You go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say. So she's not giving. So we just have like the one case to pick up outside, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Go ahead, Andy.
Oh, Dr. Fang, what is your doctorate in, if I may ask?
Astrophysics.
No kidding. Wow. Well, it's very nice to meet you, and I respect your profession.
Thank you.
That's all I have to say. I think we're good. On Scorpions, ho!
So as we are walking out, I'm going to sort of like take the lead and like try to draft Patterson and Arthur behind me. And I'm going to say, I read a very interesting article in a magazine on my flight here about catching scorpions.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will not mention that it was catching scorpions in Animal Crossing, but you can catch them in that game. So Vera is feeling a little prepared.
Excellent. Miss, how should I refer to you? Miss Chow, Vera, doctor, master's degree, bachelor, just walked by a pharmacy once, thought it was fun. What shall I?
You could just call me Vera. Thank you.
Oh, very good. Well, Vera. Do you have an experience treating poisonings, specifically in regards to venom? I guess that's not poison. I guess that's venoming.
Yeah, it's difficult to not be a pedant in this regard, but yeah, it's venomous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also poisonous. Like if you eat the venom sacs, I bet they're poisonous.
I suppose so. In fact, if you
there are a variety of drugs that can be that are available to treat poisonings and that kind of things, but venom has to be treated with anti-venom, which
I see.
It's right there on the label.
Yeah. It could be synthetic, but I would not be able to get that for you.
I see. Well, we'll hope again.
We may want to talk to the astrophysicist in this respect, much in the same way that antimatter cancels out matter. I'm assuming that it works the same way as the anti-venom and the venom.
Mm.
Perhaps that's what she wants the scorpion for.
Ooh, I like this. So
maybe we just must entice this odd scorpion inside of the modified pet carrier. Usually with a small pet, this is easily done with a treat. Do any of us know what scorpions particularly like?
Hunting insects.
That's more of an activity than a reward of its own.
Scorpions are not like treat creatures. I think we should. So, are we standing outside our green like scorpion case?
I don't think we have exited the restaurant yet, but let us go outside. Let's have a look at what we've got to work with.
All right. Then Patterson slams the rest of his clam juice. Ready to go. Ready to go. Ready to go.
Bracing.
So it's a pet carrier. It looks suitable for carrying a cat. The entire interior has been lined with a copper mesh that includes sort of the door that had initially some very wide bars. So once you close the door, whatever is inside is completely encased in this copper mesh. And when you pick it up, you see that it has quite a thick base, and there's sort of a panel where you could open up the base.
So you open it up you sort of open it up and drop it on top of the scorpion, I guess?
No, the base is quite thick, and if you open up the bottom, you'll see that there are a whole bunch of batteries. Like you open up so that you have a place to put batteries in.
And there are batteries in it. Is there an on switch?
There is not an on switch.
Interesting. But does it like hum or vibrate like it's currently on?
So how would you, it's not very loud. Would you like to, for example, touch your tongue to the copper mesh?
No, but what I will do is lick my finger and touch it to the copper mesh.
All right. So you have like the door open and you touch the copper mesh in the door?
I'd close the door again and then very delicately just see if I get a shock from it.
Okay, you get a very mild one.
But of course I'm much bigger than a scorpion.
Yes.
So
that's the hope.
So is the bottom of the cage lined with this copper mesh as well?
Yes.
Well, we'll figure that out when we get there. Maybe we'll put like a branch in there or something for it to sit on, but not get too many ideas. Do we have a net or anything to catch the scorpion with?
That doesn't sound like a Dale question.
That may be something we need to acquire if we have not already brought anything. I've brought along lock-picking essentials, but nothing else that I can think that would be necessary for catching scorpions.
Is there a pet store or a toy store around here anywhere?
There is a pet store here on the plaza. It's called Love and Lease Pet Rental.
Ah.
All right. What if we go in there?
Sure, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. So Patterson picks up this is a green cage, green cat-sized cage. Does it get a shock?
No.
Okay. Well, he picks that up and heads in towards the store.
Okay. So there's a man. He looks up. You can see there are lots of pet cases all around. He's like, "Oh, well, welcome. And what would you like to rent today? We have a lovely shoulder squirrel, very nice for an afternoon stroll. Or are you thinking something larger? Perhaps a goat. I have some goats in the back."
Do you have something that is naturally the predator of small to medium arachnids? Say something, maybe an owl or
I do have a hawk in the back. Yes.
Is it trained?
Yes.
Wunderbar.
I'm expecting a falcon back in about half an hour.
I mean, now, this hawk, can it tell the difference between a tarantula and a scorpion?
I have never tested that. I acquired it used.
I am a little bit apprehensive about possibly spending my savings upon something that is unproven. Perhaps I will think on your offer.
Yes. Well, you know where to find us.
Goodness, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Patterson puts both his hands on this counter that I'm assuming they're talking over, and he gets right down low and looks him straight in the eye, and he says, "You're going to tell me everything you know about odd scorpions."
So, I kind of want to know how this goes for you. So, I'm going to give you a reroll for this being sort of your area of expertise, and I'm going to give you a reroll for the intimidating situation, and I'm going to give myself a reroll because I am a merchant on the Plaza of Flowers, and the just weirdest people come through here all the time.
Fair. Sounds good. And this is something I have initiated, so I want a 7. Is that right?
That's correct. 7 or higher.
Excellent. Well, I've got Jack Dice. Shoot. Okay, I have a 3 and a 4.
All right. You have 2 rerolls. That's a success. You could just stay with that.
Could do, but it's also got that 3 in there. And for those who don't know, a 3 is bad and a 4 is good. So right now I'm kind of sitting pretty. But you also have a reroll.
I have 1 reroll.
So it's me against you, Dale, as I always thought it would be. No. Well, shoot.
Here to make sure you have fun, Andy. I just want to help you have a good time.
Oh, I wish I knew something about statistics. Well, I know for a fact you're going to make me re-roll the 4.
I am. Do you want me to just do that now?
Of course not. Oh, no, maybe, wait.
So you have 2 rerolls.
You have 2 rerolls. So what I'm saying is if you want, you can say, "Hey, Dale, I'm not going to use any right now. Do you want to use any of yours?" At which point I will say, "Please re-roll the 4." And then you can decide what to do with your 2 rerolls.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, I'll take that offer, Satan. Let's go with that.
All right. So, because I have promised to do that, I won't just also pass and make you keep the 3, because if we both pass, you keep what you have. So please re-roll the 4.
We'll do a 6.
Okay. I'm done with my re-rolls.
Should we roll the 3?
I should re-roll the 3. Okay, I will do that. I will use one of my re-rolls. 5. I'm pretty okay with that. That's good to me. So that's a cumulative 11.
You know, it would be nice if you had a 4. Like, you could just re-roll that 5. No matter what, you'd succeed. You could get a 4 with that.
I could do, or I could get a 3, and I'm pretty happy where I am. Thank you very much for offering.
It's un-Canadian to be greedy.
That's right. Never take the last cookie. Never re-roll on an 11.
I must have met some Canadians you haven't met. All right. So he is thoroughly intimidated, and he says, "Odd scorpions. Do you mean like from the sea, or you can see he's trying to figure out what you mean. It's like, are you talking about odd scorpions of the type that that are only found here, like the kind where once you find them, nobody ever hears from you again, kind of odd scorpion?"
I'm thinking that kind of odd scorpion.
I promise I have done my best to never learn anything about them. I definitely do not have any friend here.
And how's Patterson reading? If this is a full-on intimidation, does this feel true to him?
So I think you're good at this. So I think what you're getting from this is he knows that there are odd scorpions and that people who know about them have bad things happen. He thinks you're the bad thing. He thinks that, and so he is just doing whatever he can to convince you that he has just pulled a Sergeant Schultz. He knows nothing. He's got no information. He has never involved himself. He, is willing to show you his arachnid rental lists and who has taken them. He's never had any odd scorpions on there.
Okay. Well, then I look him dead in the eye and I say, and I look at his name tag, which reads.
You didn't finish that sentence.
Oh, okay. Which reads Lenny, of course. And he says, "Look here, Lenny, we've been following your business for a long time. We know you're clean. But we know that you know some people or something that may not be so clean. And nothing bad is going to happen to you. I mean, it's a very nice shop you have here, and we wouldn't want anything bad to happen to it. That's why nothing bad is going to happen to it, or to you, or to your family, or to Vera." Wait, no, I picked a name out of a hat, but that was an actual person. Vera's okay. Vera's with me. I just met her. She seems nice. Listen. There are a billion names on the planet. I picked one of the ones I shouldn't have chosen. Listen here, Lenny. You're good. Is there anything, and we would look even better on your little organization here if you happen to let something slip about it that somebody else might be involved in these odd scorpions at all. If you happen to know of any dealings at all regarding these things.
I always take lots of drugs as soon as I learn anything about them. Do you want me to just do that now so that I forget your face?
Yes, in a moment. I'm gonna let you go here, but in a moment, just one more thing. When you learn about these odd scorpions, where do you get that information from?
Well, the point is I don't remember.
Shoot. Well, great talking to you, Lenny. Thank you very much. It's a very nice shop you have here. What about that falcon? Arthur, what were you talking about with the falcon?
I feel that a falcon or perhaps some sort of a bird that is not properly trained might end up... You know what? It's worth the risk. Shopkeep, your finest falcon, please.
Yes. On the house. Is 2 hours good?
I think if we will take more than 2 hours, I will give you a call and pay any sort of penalty when I return.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Lenny. The voices in my teeth thank you too.
I've always wanted a falcon.
So I think this falcon's name must be Vera.
What a coincidence. Vera, how many other Veras do you know?
I mean, none under the age of 90, but you know.
Well,
I'll
hot dang.
You'll call this one Fluffy Veer, and this is Prickly Veer.
Ooh.
That make it confusing, so depending on the talents. We'll just call you Vera.
So Lenny brings out Vera and a glove.
Fantastic.
Vera is hooded. So, please, Arthur, give me a roll for keeping a falcon calm on your arm.
Absolutely. I've rolled a 4 and a 5.
All right, please re-roll the 5. That's my only re-roll.
Yep.
Do you have any reason you should have a re-roll on this?
I have no reason to reroll. I have no reason to reroll because my re-rolled 5 has turned into a 4.
Well then, this is amazing. So a 4 is good. There is the possibility that double 4s are twice as good. I find that less interesting than double 4s is amazingly good.
Mm-hmm.
So what's amazingly good about your relationship with this falcon? Or do you just want me to
I'll take it off. If you want to continue, or if you think this isn't good enough, I will say that simply, not only is the falcon calm and sitting on my arm, but through its hood, it has absorbed my scent and found that extremely calming. So that even without seeing me, it recognizes me as a pleasant place to be.
All right, and let's mirror that. You don't remember where you got trained in falconry. You don't remember your experiences with a falcon. But when you have a falcon on your arm, at least this falcon, you feel composed and comfortable.
A bit of muscle memory left there.
Yeah.
Cool. I like it. Thank you. This is a Vera. Vera's right here. Yeah. I think we have this now.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Vera, anything in here? Other Vera, Prickly Vera? Are you comfortable with that? Would you like another adjective, or maybe are you?
Could I be the Vera Prime, and perhaps the rented bird could be perhaps Bird Vera?
Well, yes, this is Fluffy Vera.
Very good. Well, Vera.
No, I don't need anything in this pet store. This whole time, Vera has been very pointedly waiting beside the door, looking at her phone, certainly not looking at any of the kittens or puppies or even the little like salamanders on display. She's been arms crossed, looking at her phone, perfectly grumpy, not paying attention to anything the entire time, and only looks up when they leave.
And Patterson says, Vera Chow, I saw you not looking at the kittens. They're adorable, Vera Prime.
So
how could you?
These kittens are in a big glass case that has no top because Lenny wants people to come over and sort of pick them up and cuddle them because then they're more likely to be willing to rent one for a couple hours. And that's his business. So these are extremely adorable kittens that are mewing in some sort of high-pitched mew and are sort of wrestling each other, but they don't really know how to wrestle each other yet. So they kind of just tumble around.
My God, that's adorable.
Vera, I know you want to get on Fluffy Vera's good side, but unfortunately, if we feed her too much, she may not be interested in getting this falcon for us.
Or the scorpion, you mean? That's right.
Yes.
Let's go. We don't want Vera to fill up on kittens.
Good idea. Let's vamoose.
Stay
What's
hungry.
yeah.
Here's your loyalty card. I punched it twice.
Do you mind if I hang on to this? I may be coming back here at sometime in the future.
Right.
So you take it, and he's like, "Oh, right. And this one with 3 is for you, sir." He gives it to Patterson because you're the one he's afraid of.
Well, thank you very much. So your credit to your profession. I will recommend your little shop here to for all my friends and their small furry needs. Thank you.
All right. Then he goes to his drug cabinet.
Very good.
So there is also a sporting goods store and gardening equipment, sporting goods and gardening equipment nearby in case you need any sort of supplies. They do not sell any weapons because all weapons are illegal in the Edge. So you cannot buy any weapons in this store. You can only buy things like baseball bats or machetes or, tools.
Mm-hmm. What is selection? Actually, if we are going inside, we should definitely go inside because I would like to check the pest remediation section. I'm sure there are some roach motels there that maybe we should buy up a gross of. Set up a large and elaborate maze from which these scorpions can never escape.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we just try to catch one in a net first? I feel like we're just going to go pop, put a net on a scorpion, flip the net around, and then jam the net on the cage, and we'll be done.
That sounds like someone who's done this before.
Absolutely.
That is good.
That's very good because as I would understand it, there are many creepy crawlies one must watch out for in New Zealand. I imagine you have some sort of experience with this sort of thing.
No.
Okay, fair enough. I am going to go into the store and buy 2 catcher's mitts, one right-handed, one left-handed.
Yes, done.
Okay.
Can I go into the gardening supply store and ask for some butterfly nets?
Yes.
Perfect. What are my? Do I have a choice?
You do. There is the standard lightweight. There is the extra ridiculously large razor wire version. There's got to be something in between that.
All right.
It's the orange one.
Is it bright orange?
Sure.
Does it have little daisies printed on it or anything?
You're asking me questions when I would prefer you to just be telling me.
Okay, all right. So there's the standard light crappy one. There's a barbed wire one with a black handle that says the Ant Master. That's the appropriate response. And so it's geez, what are ants like here? And then there's a bright orange one with a cartoon butterfly antenna coming off the end of it, making it sort of useless. And it's it's got little daisies printed around the rim and a cute handle with a bow on the end. And how do I make a willpower roll, Dale?
Well, usually that would be you would roll the dice and see what they tell you, right?
All right.
Because it sounds like you're reacting to something.
Yes, I am. I'm. What I'm trying to do is ignore that orange net and buy the Ant Master 5,000. Oh, I rolled a 1 and a 2.
I'm happy with that.
So if it adds up to 3, is that bad, or if it just is 3?
The natural 3 is the bad twist.
Okay.
But a natural 3 is a fail.
Okay.
So you have failed your roll, but there's no twist.
All right. I'm going to come out with the orange one with the bow and everything's stupid, and I'm going to say this was the only one they had.
I understand. Well, this seems like a respectable implement.
That should be fine. We're here for the nets.
Very good. Well done, Vera Chow. Well, shall we? Any other more conveniently placed shops and dry goods stores that seem? Are we feel prepared? How do you feel?
You're on the plaza that's sort of in the middle of the flowers district. So there are lots of little shops here. I mean, there's an old cathedral at the far side that looks like some sort of party place. It has a statue of the Virgin Mary above the big front doors. She's very pregnant, and it looks like she's crying. And the sign says "Bar and Girl." There are a ton of places here. There's like Seventh Day Pastimes and Men for Men Clothing and Rope, and the Globe Cinema and Chameleon's Natural You. And you can see they're having a specialty on scented eyeshadow today. Yes, there are lots of places that are around for shopping. You're in sort of a shopping area.
Incredible.
Virtually anything you could desire, and more.
Mm-hmm. Well, from what I'm led to believe by Lenny, these things that we're after, these odd scorpions, there's some serious business. Bad things happen to people who have them, and but I don't know if we need any more than a couple of pairs of gloves and a hungry falcon.
We have 3 different plans. What could go wrong with all 3?
And she never said we had to bring back the scorpion alive. She just said bring back a scorpion.
That is true. That is absolutely true. That was an important qualifier that she failed to implement.
Oh, I think that was on purpose. You can still autopsy a scorpion, presumably.
Yeah.
True.
All right, let's go.
Okay, so you call up Total Taxi and hop in a cab?
Sure.
Okay.
That sounds good.
So
it takes a little while for... Oh, sorry, no, continue.
Each of you was issued with a government ID card when you arrived on Alamarha, and it acts as your money card and your ID card and everything else. So that's how you've been paying for everything. Total Taxi is a wholly owned taxi company owned by the state. It has really great security inside and outside the cab. So, you say you want, you call the number, you say you want a cab. They don't ask you where you are. Your government card gives your location. The government cab pulls up, lots of cameras inside when you get in. And you can say where you're going, and it'll just take you there. Because the government is here for your convenience.
As it should be.
Patterson will not get in this cab. He says, "Oh, nope. I'll run after y'all. You keep, I'm good. I'm very good at track and field. I will run after this cab if you folks decide to get in, and I'm not getting in there."
Are you sure, Patterson? It's a fairly long drive. It's sunken.
I have such stamina that are the envy of the gods, my friend. I will carry on behind you. You'd be surprised how fast I can run.
No, please. If you must walk, we will walk together. Or perhaps there's another form of transportation that is acceptable.
As get Vera, on the metro. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
As Vera is still trying to sit in the cab, she's going to say, "Patterson, the government here already knows where you are every second you're already here. They have been tracking you since the second you arrived. Not getting in a cab is more suspicious than using their cab company." And she is going to sit down with her orange net.
So, while Patterson is pondering that, we are going to take a break for these important messages. See you soon. Hello. Andy, what's going on?
Patterson is struck by the absolute solid nature of this argument that Vera Chow has made, and he's looking around in a sort of paranoid sort of his breath is getting in his chest, and is fully dawning on him that he accepted this ID card that was given to him, and he didn't think to question it. He's usually very careful about that. And he closes his eyes and he listens to the voices in his teeth, as for some sort of any sort of advisement. May not even be related to what's happening, but what are the voices in his teeth saying right now?
So this sounds like a time to roll those dice.
Yes, agreed. A 2 and a 2.
All right, I'm giving you a reroll.
Okay, and I reroll 1. Is that right? Okay.
As you wish.
Another 2. I have a 2 and a 2.
All right. Well, you know that karma you didn't use up? You've restored the karma.
Oh, well, good. Excellent.
So the group has karma again.
Fantastic.
But you failed to get anything useful from the teeth, I think.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to say that what he is going to do is he is going to put his suit jacket over his head, cradling both of the mitts and the green cage, and he is going to stuff himself, covering his face and breathing very heavily, and go get into the back. And as he is very tall, and it's going to spend the whole cab ride with his face buried in a suit. Yes, that is how Patterson is going to deal with this situation. Yes.
We'll say that Vera is sitting beside him in the back seat because she wouldn't, sit beside the driver. I assume Arthur and the Falcon are in the front seat.
Oh, absolutely. If there's something I know about Falcons, is that they love to see where they're going in car rides.
Sure. Vera's going to look at Patterson and be like, "I'm so glad that you got into the cab in such an inconspicuous way. I can tell you're a professional from your country."
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's very, sort of from one and sort of a professional Let's just start screaming into his.
Vera's going to put in a pair of AirPods and going to ignore him.
So the driver looks at Arthur and is like, "Where to, sweetie?"
To the Hilton in the Sunken, please.
Across from the McDonald's.
The very same, yeah.
So she gets going. She driving in the Edge is an adventure because the laws are you do this or you pay that fine. And people tend to look at that as a licensing fee. It's like, keep to this speed limit, or you will be fined this much up to a maximum of whatever a year. Well, if you just pay that maximum, you drive whatever speed you want all year.
And the better and the faster you are at driving a cab, meaning the more you earn, so the more likely you are to be able to pay all the fees that you incur.
5 stars.
Yeah. So, see, capitalism at work.
Great.
So it's an exciting trip. I expect those of you who are not hooded in one way or another, the way the non-prickly Vera and the Patterson are, you might be feeling excited or not, depending on how you want to deal with this.
Mm-hmm. Oh gosh! Oh, all right. With this car going at an incredible speed.
Yeah,
is that right?
But you've got your
yeah. I'm very much in my. It's still very much in his own little world. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be home soon. It's all gonna be over. We're gonna be great. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, because she does this for a living. Like, this is her home. This is what she does. She drives cabs at ridiculous speeds through roads with laws that are negotiable.
Right.
You know,
Is
like you
she-
can't
No, go ahead, Dale. I'm sorry.
you can't pass on a double yellow unless you pay the fee. You can't bump up on the sidewalk unless you pay the fee. Right?
Mm.
Like
Right. Yeah.
you can't
Right.
run red lights unless you pay the fee.
Here's a question. How old is our cab driver?
Sort of a nebulous 30s or 40s. She's
All right.
starting to gray.
Perfect. I'm going to feel comfortable because she looks like she's been doing it for a while. And I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to turn up my music and I'm going to think about catching scorpions.
All right. Anything else we want to know about the cab ride before I impose things on you?
Right?
Okay.
This is another exciting cab ride in this city. I'm very excited to get to our destination in the sunken because they keep all the other branded shops. I hear it's Olive Garden, your family.
So, one of the interesting things about Alamarha is they do not observe international trademark and copyright law. So, for example, the local TV station plays anything it wants to play. But the people working there often work there because they feel like they are creative people. And so when you watch Avengers Endgame this week, you're going to be watching this person's edit of it. And when you watch it next week, who knows what scenes someone else might have inserted.
Every cut is the Snyder cut.
So in the same way, when you walk into, for example, a Starbucks, they might try to emulate the look of a Starbucks because they're trying to get the visitors to give them money. But they have certainly not paid any franchising fees. They haven't received anything from Starbucks International. They're just making it, however you want. And, the mocha cocaine frappuccino is their own recipe, strangely enough. So my point is that you're getting to this Hilton.
Mm-hmm.
And it does indeed have an authentic Hilton sign that was stolen from a Hilton in Europe and brought here. And there is indeed a place called McDonald's across the road. And the cab pulls out and you are thanked for your business. You don't have to worry about paying because when you called, your card was automatically registered and they're just going to remove the cab fee from your balance.
It's exactly the same as any other McDonald's, except that every reference to Ronald has been replaced with John A.
And Patterson stumbles out of the cab and looks up at the John A. and goes, "Oh, not one of my favorites." And then
He was certainly a clown, but not the good kind.
no.
Is there such a thing?
A good prime minister or a good clown? That's
So the woman who owns this McDonald's comes out and she's got all her clown paint on and she's got her big clown shoes and she's like, "Welcome to McDonald's. What can I get for you?"
I would say I would like to know where you got those shoes because they look like they would fit me.
So she starts talking to you about haberdashery shops and costume places where you can get gag things, and she shows you that they're actually just big plastic things that go over her feet. They have no sole.
Oh, yeah. Patterson looks very disappointed, and he says, "Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I think your business is disgusting, but I wish you all the best."
McDonald's.
Unfortunately, you will
Yes.
find that a lot of these places, while they have the trappings, they are missing the soul.
Mm.
That said, Miss Manager of the McDonald's, have you seen any strange infestations of insects around here recently?
Well, I mean, there were a whole lot of centipedes crawling down the road the other day, but they're gone. There's just a big long line of them. Is that what you mean?
Not what I was looking for, but interesting nonetheless.
Yeah, where were they heading?
North.
I'm sorry, I should have been more specific. We're looking for arachnids. Most people tend to think of them as bugs, but they are very much a separate phylum, I believe.
Okay, thanks a lot, Wikipedia Jones. Look, have you seen any huge scorpions around here? Vera's just going to butt in.
You know, I feel like referring to arachnids as bugs is legitimate because the word bug predates the association with the hemiptera. And in fact, it's a reference to the creepy crawly generally. It's a very old word. I think it's totally fine if you want to call a spider a bug.
I see. Patterson reaches out and very delicately takes the red nose off of her face and crushes it in his hand. And he says, "Have you seen any scorpions, clown?"
Come on inside.
All right, fine. And I follow her into the building.
All right. And, she goes over to a bin and she gets another red nose and she gives one to you. And if the other two are following in, she gives them each a red nose.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm following it. I will not take the red nose. I have the net, though.
So you see that there are pictures of Sir John A. all over the place, but with the Ronald McDonald clown makeup on.
Vera does not get this at all. She's like, what the hell? Right?
For our viewers who are not local, Sir John A. Macdonald was Canada's first Prime Minister, and he was a Member of Parliament for Victoria. So, local politics jokes. My apologies. So, a scorpion, you say?
Yes.
All right. So she goes over to the milkshake machine and she gets some bottles and she starts doing something you can't quite see. And then there's some sort of a grinding sound. And in just under a minute, she comes back and she says, all right, $12.
$12 for what?
Scorpion drink.
As in, scorpions want this drink? Or is it
No.
made with scorpions?
It doesn't have real scorpions. It's just called a scorpion. $12, please.
No, I'm talking about, we're talking about real, actual scorpions. Apparently, there has been an infestation of odd scorpions.
In my McDonald's?
It's more likely than you think.
$12, please.
I take my little tap card and I boop it, and I take the drink.
All right. It's very alcoholic.
It's very alcoholic.
Yeah.
I could just smell it, and I'm like, great, thank you. And then
Anything else?
I'm gonna say no. Go
I have
ahead.
something I'd like to ask the clown person.
Yes.
Listen.
Call me John.
You're John? You're John? Hello, John. Very nice to meet you. My name is unimportant. Listen, we're on some important business here, and we like your establishment. We've heard good things about it. I mean, not I haven't, but I'm sure some people have. Listen, there's the Hilton just next door, the Hilton Hotel.
Across the street, yeah.
Across the street. Have you seen any strange goings on, any ins or outs, any loud noises in the nighttime coming out of there recently?
Mm-hmm.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
Would you care to tell us what you have observed?
No, that's not a good neighbor policy.
No kidding. Well, you raise a very good point. And he goes over to the ice cream machine, and he starts
it's behind the counter. You're going behind the counter.
Very good, very good. Well, he is going to leap over the counter,
Okay,
and start turning on all of the he turns on the ice cream and then bends the handle so it's sort of locked in the on position.
I have a very large knife at this point. So before we get into a fight,
all right.
Kathleen had her hand up.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I think part of the reason why Vera is so popular is that a pharmacist knows how to make all sorts of things that make people act badly and stuff like that, or tell the truth and things. So could we say that Vera had prepared ahead of time with perhaps a jabby syringe of do my bidding juice?
I mean, obviously, yes.
What do I have to pay for this great boon, though?
I feel like something. All right, we'll get back to that. Also, I just noticed Ian's
Falcon.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Thank you, Paul.
All right. Well, let's get back to what this costs you when somebody has a good idea. And for now, you just have this do my bidding juice.
Great. While Patterson is distracting her and she's pulled out a knife because he's wrecking her restaurant, I'm going to drop that stupid scorpion drink she gave me and splat it on the floor, even though it'll make a very sticky mess because I didn't want it in the first place. And I'm going to pull it out and I'm just going to try to jab her in the back of the neck. Just real short and quick.
All right. Boop. So Patterson,
time wasters.
Patterson is trying to break the milkshake machine.
Yes.
And Vera is trying to jab this syringe into this poor fast food worker. Yes. What's Arthur doing?
Watching this horror.
All right. So
such violence.
I would like rolls from each of Patterson and Vera.
Sure.
So you each have one reroll, and I have one reroll.
I rolled snake eyes. So there's karma. That's good.
Yes, you guys have karma. Well
Hurrah!
done. You do have one reroll.
All right. Well, then I shall reroll one.
Okay.
A 5. So I have a 6.
Huh. How are you doing, Kathleen?
I rolled a 5 and a 2.
Well, I have one reroll. I'm not really feeling the need to make Andy re-roll anything.
Right.
Would you like to use one of your re-rolls first, Kathleen?
No, I'm pretty happy with a 5 and a 2. But if you want to make me re-roll, then priority will pass back to me, I suppose.
Yes, I mean, I do feel like I would not be doing my job if I just said go ahead and keep that 5.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, you should call me on that if I just...
All right. Well, I rolled a 2 and a 2.
Huh. So you have karma.
Excellent. I'm going to use my one reroll to reroll a 2. Oh, I got a 4 and a 2. Still not a pass.
So...
But something good might happen.
Yes.
So I'm going to keep it.
Also, I may have just said this 2 or 3 times, but there's this thing I've taught you about called karma.
All right, fine. I'll re-roll the 2. I want to jab this woman with truth serum so she'll just tell us about the dang scorpions. I got a 4 and a 1, so I still don't succeed.
All right. So, She has pulled out this knife, and I think she strikes Patterson with the knife. So you don't have hit points. You just get stricken. So you've been stricken once, and you can describe what that means. Anytime something bad happens to you in this game, that's a strike. And there's no default game mechanic to that, but I will leave it to you to guess how many strikes before you're out. I think she whacked you with this knife.
Okay.
And I think that Vera has failed to make her do what she wants with this serum, but something good happens. Maybe in your lunging to hit her, you see where the surveillance tapes are kept, or
Okay, perfect.
You're happy with that?
Yeah. I see an office marked employees only, and like I can see clearly through like the door that there's like the TV and the surveillance camera, and I can see the whole setup. This is like one of them. It's got a door with a huge window in it or something.
Right.
Oh, miss.
Okay. And I'm stricken with this knife.
I struck you with a knife.
You struck me with a knife, which is an interesting verb. Well, how would I be struck with this knife? Well, if I'm in the middle of breaking this milkshake machine, I'm probably got my back to her. So how do I determine how I am struck? Is this a mortal wound? Is this only the first strike?
It's only the first one, so it's not a mortal wound.
Okay.
So the answer to your question is you are clever and witty and creative and tell a good story.
Okay. Okay. Well, good. All right. So I've got my back to this milkshake machine. As I'll show you, clown. And I get over it, and I start bending this milk machine. We turn on the milkshake machine and bend it into the on position, and I start to get. Gosh, I really wouldn't see this coming. I wouldn't expect a clown to have a knife. More fool me. But I'm going to say it gets me. It's got to get me in the back, but it's going to get me. Let's say that but they have a knife, so they probably know how to use it. Is the thing. They would.
They have successfully used it on you demonstrably.
Use it on me demonstrably. So let's say this is minimal wage rage. So this is a wild swing with a knife. I don't get paid enough for this. Just overhand into my shoulder blade, to which I freak out and go and thrust myself backwards, hitting her against the counter between my, and I'm sort of I've got it's the counter, it's this homicidal clown, and it's me on top of her, but with my back on top of her, like going and screaming out in pain, trying to get the knife that is still in my back.
So I feel like it might be time for you to roll dice again.
I
How
think
do you
so.
feel about that?
I feel excited to advance the narrative.
All right. And if this is enough of a distraction, I feel like maybe you look up and Vera is elsewhere.
Okay. Let's do this. I have a 3. I have a 2 and a 1, but no, I haven't rolled a 3. I have rolled a 2 and a 1.
So, I mean, I feel like I have a reroll because you've got a knife in your bag.
Sure do.
I think you have a reroll because you've got your massive 7-foot frame on top of this woman, pressing her against the counter.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, then I will. Would you like to roll first, Dale? Would you like to reroll first?
I'm pretty happy with your 2 and your 1, honestly.
Keep in mind that knife may be load bearing now.
I don't think it was a particularly clean knife. Just get you to roll a 3. That could be exciting. In fact, you know what? I do want to see you roll a 3. Please re-roll the 2.
Please re-roll the 2. Okay. That's a 1. So I now have a 1 and a 1.
Oh, well, you'll have karma again then.
Yes, hooray for karma. Now, describe to me again what karma does. That's an optional re-roll. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But you only get it if you end with doubles.
I can only get it.
Right? Because you have 2 1s showing, and 2 1s showing will earn you karma. But it sounds like you're about to change it from being 2 1s showing.
Oh, I see. So I can't take my re-roll and then roll the karma one because it probably won't be. Okay. Well, then...
but if you rolled another 1, then you would get karma, and you could roll again.
That's true. Oh, gosh. Well, the best I can do is after this would be a 7 if I rolled a 6. So that would be...
That'd be a pass.
That would be a pass. Am I taking initiative on that? Is this a reaction?
Or you were shoving her back against the counter. That was you taking the initiative.
Okay.
Also, if you re-roll, it means you won't have karma, but you could roll a 4.
Could roll a 4, could roll a 3, or could succeed. Well, that's 2 maybe successes and 1 maybe awful things happen. So why not? Let's go for broke. Let's see what we got. Rolled a 4!
All right, so you do not have karma, but you do have a good thing happen.
I felt real good. I haven't felt that good in a long time.
I'm glad you could have that experience then.
Yeah.
So I could make this multiple choice. We can say that you just create a big ruckus and Vera walks out of the McDonald's with the surveillance.
Okay.
Or we could say that you knock her out if you're trying to get some sort of combat victory. Or we could say that in the middle of all this, you discover that this McDonald's has an amazing seafood freezer that has fallen open. And sort of the smell makes you happy, and you can get lots of good treats. There's also the none of the above option if you have a better idea. Or Ian has a suggestion.
I was just going to suggest not that one.
I don't really like seafood. I'm really into Patterson's really into seafood. Gosh, well, I think the option of this being we got to get something out of this. I think the option of me being a very good distraction. And having Vera Chow get what she needs out of that surveillance stuff, that seems very good.
Okay, so I think we cut to the 3 of you outside.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
I'm okay
So
with that.
you have a bunch of like VHS tapes, like a box of them.
Okay. And I've got a horrible knife wound in my back.
Yeah. Is that still bleeding?
I'm gonna say that it was more than a glancing blow, but did not get any horrible tendons or anything. I think I'm bleeding, and I've probably inquired after Vera Chow to give me some first aid, knowing that she is a pharmacist.
I mean, I'm a pharmacist. I don't know how to give first aid,
Yeah.
but I can certainly buy you some Bactine at a pharmacy.
You know what aisle the Band-Aids are in.
Yes. Anyhow, thanks for distracting her so I could get these ancient artifacts.
Why, Vera? Why did you get those?
They're surveillance tapes. They had us on them, and possibly Scorpion, since she was acting so suspicious about it. And even if not, we've wrecked her restaurant, and that's, sort of important in the grand scheme of things, I think. Shall we go check out the Hilton? We can check these at the front desk.
I have a feeling that maybe seeing Scorpions with our eyes may be easier than attempting to find some sort of VHS player for these tapes.
Oh, if it's a Hilton, they'll definitely have a VHS player in their rooms. Let's go in and rent a room.
Perfect. Can I, yank the knife out of his back?
I thought it was already out. If it's still in there, then yes.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, dang.
So, would you like to roll for that?
No, I feel like I'm going to just try to remove it without too much flair.
All right. So, I feel like that will absolutely cause it to bleed more.
Perfect.
Um,
I don't
but we've
care.
established that this is not a life-threatening wound. I think it is a suit-threatening wound.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're going to need a new suit there, friend. Perhaps the Canadian government will pony up for that.
I should hope so. I gotta cash in this kids menu someplace. Well, I'll find a bank between episodes, probably.
I'm so sorry.
Somehow if we could stem the bleeding, that would be optimal. The Falcons Vera may be she may be a little bit hungry at this time. I'm sensing some movement.
We'll get her a kid's meal at the Hilton. Let's go.
Perfect.
Right.
All right. So you're just casually walking across this street.
Mhm.
How's that go?
Poorly, I'm sure.
I'm going to look both ways, obviously. I'm going to look both ways. Is there a crosswalk?
Yes.
Can I take the crosswalk?
Yes.
Perfect. I'm going to press the crosswalk button. I'm going to wait till it says cross, and I'm going to look both ways because I rode here in the cab.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I will follow Vera, and I will also point out that something my father pointed to me when I was young. Boy, cars today. If they hit me, they'll probably do more damage to themselves than they will to me.
Patterson will follow these two, also looking both ways frantically and holding the wound on his back, trying to stem the tide of blood.
So, there are some cars that sometimes observe red lights. Are you feeling lucky? So I think it looks like everything's fine, but it would be remiss of me not to address the fact that we said there needed to be a cost to Vera having a syringe of a drug to just make people do what she likes, which she still has.
Oh, good. Yes.
Is this a good time for us to include that price, or do you just want to walk casually across the street with no problems and we can deal with that later?
I think that we should walk casually across the street with no problems because I think it's more interesting for you to get me when it would be even worse, Dale.
Okay. As you wish.
Yeah, get me when it's important.
Crossing the street is the least interesting time to have consequences.
Yeah, exactly.
In that case, you get to the Hilton.
Perfect.
Hooray!
Hey,
Welcome to the Hilton.
Ah! Ow! Hello.
Sir, you do seem to be dripping fluids.
I sure am, and I apologize for that. Say, do you have any first aid equipment behind the front desk, by any chance?
We have, yes. Do you wish to purchase some?
I would like to purchase most of it.
Excellent, sir. Would you care for an attendant to apply this?
Are they first aid certified?
Yes.
I'm going to use my interrogation. I'm going to roll for that. I want to know if I'm going to be receiving good care. And I take hold of this person's lapel. And I say, you tell me if this is going to make things worse or better.
I'm going to put you in the gentle care of Mistress Lily, who has many years of applying things to people's backs and such, and will deal with you in the back room. And she is absolutely an expert.
Well, I'm sold on that, and I let them go, and I smooth down all the wrinkles. I say, thank you very much. You're a credit to your profession. And and I go along with them to whatever back room Miss Lily is in.
In the massage area.
Sure thing, yeah.
this man knows how to get things done around here.
How legit does this Hilton look?
Give me a scale.
10 would be this this isn't a Hilton, and one would be, this is a John A. McDonald themed McDonald's.
I'm going to put this on a 3.
Oh no, gross. All right. I'll go up to the front.
Maybe a 4. I mean,
right.
it's
I think
kind of more of a
4 makes it at least actually a hotel still.
Mm.
well. The John A. McDonald's has food. Like, I don't think there are 10 steps between there. Like, it's hard to. So this is not a nice hotel, but it's fine. It's a cheap hotel that is somewhat clean. And
So like a Hilton.
There's some very upmarket Hiltons.
there are some
Right.
very upmarket Hiltons.
Once you
Yeah, I
start
guess
looking through-
a 10 is like the Banff Springs, and a 1 is like some boxes that somebody has put up in their front yard that says hotel, and the L is backwards.
Okay, so this is a hotel, and they want tourists to come stay here. It's absolutely not a Hilton. They aren't trying to make it look like a Hilton. Like, once you check in, they have your money. They have like the massage rooms that would be more at home in a place other than a Hilton. I'm trying to answer your question. I feel like I'm doing a bad job.
It's a crappy, gross-looking motel, but still a motel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Vera's
I
a
would say
snob.
hotel.
Oh, it's a hotel that's seen better days. It's
Sure,
dated,
yeah. Yes, this was not built as a Hilton.
right?
These are not the first or second or probably third owners.
Right. Okay. Perfect. So Vera is going to go up to somebody else at the desk, or perhaps the same person who was just assaulted and smeared with blood by Patterson. She doesn't care, and she's going to say, "Hi, I need a room with a VCR, which I assume you have amongst your other artifacts of a bygone era. Also, do you have a scorpion problem here?"
Well, I can certainly arrange for your VCR needs at a small additional cost.
That's fine.
We absolutely do not have a scorpion problem.
Well, I can assure you, if you had a scorpion problem, I'm a very competent person. I could help you if you just happen to have a scorpion problem.
No, we do not have a scorpion problem. There's no problem. You're in room 212.
If
Here's
I
your
may
key.
Thank you.
rephrase,
Oh.
maybe not a scorpion problem. Maybe there's just some sort of a scorpion situation. A panic with scorpions, maybe.
What if they're just scorpions as friends? Who says the scorpions need to be a problem? What if they're a boon?
Yeah. To paraphrase a documentary film about some artists, are scorpions present?
Jesus.
So, I feel like you have perhaps been misinformed. Are you also after a room? I can give you one that's adjoining.
Room adjoining or scorpion adjoining? This is relevant.
Adjoining Ms. Chow's room. You came in together.
Ah, Miss Chow. Yes, Vera. Yes, that's right. Yes, Vera.
Because he, of course, read your names off the RFID chips in the ID cards.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think if you can get it by with a single room.
Oh, do you?
I mean, I don't expect us to be staying here for any significant amount of time.
Arthur, what will people think with us sharing a room together? How immoral.
2 rooms, then.
Fine, this will be going back to Miss Fang anyway.
Yeah, we can bill your room to the Canadian government. How about that? Notoriously generous, the Canadian government.
I mean, presumably Patterson does have a travel allowance of some sort.
Probably.
One assumes.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's off getting a massage.
right? Yes, in this
and
room.
whatnot. Yes.
Oh, yes. So yes, Mistress Lily is there, and she seems a little underdressed for her job. I say, you're a weird looking nurse, thank you. But if you could look at this, and look, and I show her the wound on my back, and
Oh,
this
that
is
looks good. Let's get you undressed. You've got all these clothes are in the. I'll have to clean that.
I tell you what.
I think you should start with a hot shower
Uh-huh.
because that looks dirty. That does not look like a clean wound. Let's get you clean and then come back and lie down on my table, and I will clean and dress your wound.
And I say, I start looking around the room for cameras. I assume
There are cameras.
There are cameras.
Every place you've seen in the Edge has had cameras.
All right.
The McDonald's, it had cameras.
I see. Well, I say, look here, Miss Lily. This is a very good offer you're giving me. I have to warn you, I'm very hirsute, and it may be it may be difficult for you to operate on my particular hide. Have you have you done this sort of work before? I'm assuming you have.
Yes.
All right.
So, would you like a full shave then?
Shaving the around the wound, I suppose would be appreciated. Let's do that. So let's say he goes into some sort of discreet showering area, takes off his clothes, gets everything nice and clean with the water on his back, and comes out wearing a towel.
Yeah, your clothes are gone.
Yeah. Took off my clothes, put them in a corner.
Yeah, they're not there.
Damn it. Is Mistress Lily there?
Oh yes.
Hi, Mistress Lily. Where are my clothes?
Lie down over here, please. So you've been in the shower. You've been in this back room for a little while now. You've been breathing in all of the fumes.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when you were in the shower, it got quite steamy.
Mm-hmm.
How is your constitution in terms of fighting off, let's call them relaxants?
I think he's a fairly hearty gentleman. In my mind, but of course I would say that because it's my character. But I think it's reasonable to say that he's got a fairly good constitution.
All right. I think it's also fair to say that Mistress Lily has gotten good at judging people's basic body weight and how much relaxant might be needed. So
yeah, fair.
So your choices here, Andy, are to say, I fight off the drug. Or to say, I am relaxed against my will. Someone's going to pay for this later. Or let's roll some dice and leave this to chance. Or something else if you have a better idea.
Good. Well, let's see. I think being trained in government work, he knows when he is being, or at least is very aware, very on the ball in terms of figuring out when this kind of stuff is happening. So I think he has the sensation that, oh no, they're drugging me again. This sort of, it comes with the training to know that one may be in this situation at one point or another. So I think he can definitely feel it taking effect. And he goes, oh, I see. Oh, I know what sort of massage parlor this is. I swore I'd never come back to one of these. And he rolls and he tries to fight it. He goes back to his technique. It's all right. Run the multiplication tables in your head again. What's trying to stay afloat here? And I suppose he rolls for this.
If you want to, you can just. Yep. It's up to you whether you roll. You can tell me the outcome, or you can leave it to chance.
Okay, I think he has become very agitated. Then I feel that he has become very agitated. and that they're trying to drug him again, and he's I guess it's starting to take effect a little bit, but he's definitely fighting it off. He goes to Mistress Lily and says, "What sort of vile concoction have you put into my body? What are you trying to do? What's your plan?"
I'm trying to help you relax and maybe sleep a little, because that looks like a painful wound, and then we'll just take you up to your room once I'm done, unless you want a fuller treatment.
No, that's good. That's fine. Yes, I think, I think that the drug is getting to him a little bit. That's fine. Just cleaning up the wound and dressing it, and throw me in my room. That sounds good. And he think about Patterson. He puts up a fight, but he's very accommodating. He's still Canadian, and he says, "All right, that's fine," and he lets the drugs get into his head, and he gets on the table.
Okay, so that's taken a while. It's going to continue to take a while. Let's go back to the other two.
Okay. Sorry, it took so long to basically do nothing, folks.
It happens.
Yeah, it's all role playing.
Mm-hmm.
So Vera and Arthur have gone up to their room. Judging from the fact that you said the Canadian government was going to be paying for Arthur's, they put you in a larger room. It has 2 queen-size beds. Vera's room just has 1 king-size bed. And they have made sure that there is a VCR in there, and they are charging you extra for that. The VCR in Arthur's room is not extra charge.
Oh. These assholes. All right. Well, Kleinman, get in here. Let's look at these tapes and see if there's anything interesting to be found.
Yeah, what kind of player did you get? I got the Magnavox, and that's kind of disappointing, actually.
Mine's a JVC.
That's good stuff. They invented the format,
Oh.
Well, there is a JVC logo on this VCR.
So I'm going to start watching tapes. I'm going to go back. I'm going to start a week ago, I guess. And put one in, watch it for a bit, fast forward a bit, see if anything pops up, essentially.
All right. So you're specifically looking at the surveillance tapes from outside the front of the McDonald's, pointed across the street, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Right? You're looking for the Hilton stuff.
Yeah.
Or should I be talking to you about the weird stuff happening in the back room of the McDonald's? Which tapes are you looking at, Kathleen?
Well, the first ones I'm going to look at, I'm going to try to look at the stuff for the out front to see if I can see any of these weird scorpions that have been coming and going from the Hilton.
Would it make sense for us to split up the task, given we have 2 sets of VCRs? Which tapes should I be viewing then for you?
Why don't you view on the inside?
I will view the inside tapes then.
All right. So you get to watch like the rave parties in the hidden basement. You get to watch the footage of the sunbathers on the roof of the McDonald's. Oh, no, I guess that's the inside. So you don't get to watch that footage.
Yeah, I get to see the people go upstairs.
Come into the basement to join the rave. You see that there's all sorts of weird stuff happening inside this McDonald's. None of it has anything to do with scorpions, which is information. There are no scorpions inside. Kathleen, you do see the long line of centipedes that was just marching up the road. And you're like, that's a thing. Doesn't seem to have anything to do with anything.
Are they marching like across the road? Can I see where they're heading?
They're heading north.
So north. So
along the road. They're following the road.
Okay, interesting. All right. Well, that's something interesting to check out. Are they giant? Are they giant centipedes?
They are, I would say, they're pretty like 10 centimeters.
Dang. All right. And they're all in like a phalanx of centipedes, or like a swarm?
Like close to 20 of them.
Oh, so like in a row, one after the other.
One after the other.
That's extremely unusual. I make a note of the time and date.
All right. In terms of the weird scorpions, there is an old green van that pulls up in the middle of the night a couple of days ago and is parked outside for several hours. And then a guy comes out and he's got a big plastic case that you can see is covered in copper mesh. You cannot see the interior of the case. He puts it in the back of the van and he drives off.
Interesting. So it's like a similar model to what we have, but it's bigger.
It's bigger. It looks way more awkward to carry. Like you've hauled yours all over town. You couldn't really do that with his.
All right. So is he so the van is pulling up, he is getting out.
Yeah.
And he's got a
yes.
And he's struggling with this big heavy case.
And then he takes it in, and then a couple hours later, like he does this at 2 a.m., then like at 4 a.m., he comes out with this big heavy case, puts it in the back of his van, and drives off.
Does it look heavier when he's coming out or going? Like, which one looks like he's more like nervous about carrying it? Does his body language indicate if he's picking up or dropping off scorpions?
So is that something that you think you could easily tell?
I mean, I think Vera thinks she's extremely confident, so yes. Or
Okay.
competent.
For what I know about pharmacists, they put pills in bottles, so they should definitely have the ability to know when something is empty and when something is full.
Well, and also pharmacists have to like make sure that somebody who's going to get a prescription isn't going to get it for like scrupulous means, right? But it's true. Like you do a little bit of dealing with the public, and you got to be able to read body language and stuff. So
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so you think I should just tell you?
I mean, if you're feeling generous, Dale, sure.
Sure. He is taking scorpions away if those are my two options.
All right, perfect. All right, so he's on a scorpion pickup. Kleinman, someone's already been here this week to pick up scorpions, and they picked up way more.
Yeah, we should. If we can't find any scorpions loose around here, perhaps we should track this person down. Maybe question them about where these scorpions are coming from, or perhaps where they are taking the scorpions.
Yeah, was there any I assume there's literally no identifying marks on the van. It's just like a green van, right?
If I recall, if I recall, one of the most important things that Dr. Fang mentioned to us is that she wanted the scorpion before anyone else could get one, and there's someone else that has one. That may be information she may be interested in.
I think this is when Patterson is sort of brought in, dozy. His entire back has been shaved, which was a big job. He smells very pretty because he was given quite a nice massage, which is another reason why he's totally relaxed. And the wound has been dressed. I think he is as drugged as Andy decides he is. Also, there's a little package of additional medications for going forward. One of the many medications, for example, is an antibiotic just to make sure the wound doesn't get infected.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Most, however, are to do with pain and discomfort management.
Excellent, good. So I come in and I assume I'm wearing a towel. Are my clothes? Do I have my clothes?
They're being laundered. They had a robe for you, but it's just a standard robe. Like it's got the Hilton logo on it. It's a Hilton robe.
Certainly.
So that comes down
really
to your hips.
It's very wee. It's very tight around. It's the sleeves are like that sort of at shoulder level, and he's pulling down on the fabric at the front.
I'm not sure it closes.
Yeah, not sure it closes, but he is to whatever save any possible part of his dignity that he can. He is trying to cover himself up with this towel, and he comes in and says, "Hello, co-workers. This is a great hotel. I just want to say I haven't known you for very long, but I'm feeling very comfortable with you both, which is saying something for me. Oh, anyway, this nice lady shaved my back and gave me some drugs, and I am, it's been a mixed day, but I'm doing okay right now. Have you found yourself a VHS player by any chance?
Several.
Oh, really?
Does you not have one?
They just
We're sharing a room.
Yes.
You're in this room. Well, this amazing. This is not. It's a Magnavox, really, but to see one in this condition at this juncture in history is amazing.
Oh, very glad to hear it. He goes over to one of the beds and he yanks the entire duvet off in a very easily single, and he wraps it around himself like a toga. And is feeling very, very fabulous. As there was one, yeah, that's fantastic. And have we made any headway with the scorpion problem? Any plans, any to-do lists? And he puts his feet up on the bedside table and gets very into the ceiling for a little while.
We in fact have, but I will not take away from Vera's wonderful triumph in this. I'll let her explain it to you herself.
Oh, good.
2 days ago, a man in a van came and caught some scorpions with a similar-looking cage.
Spectacular, no?
That's what's better than nothing. So there's scorpions in the building, we presume?
Yeah, now we just have to figure out how to bait them out.
Either we
Catch them
find
with our net.
either we send the scorpions and then capture them ourselves, or the other option is we send you, Mr. Patterson, to speak with this person who has already caught scorpions and have them help us out.
That sounds like a fabulous idea. So,
Before we start doing that, do we have any way of contacting this person who's already caught the scorpions? Do we have any way of figuring out who they are based on the van?
Like the uniform, van, phone numbers,
license plate.
I don't think that the McDonald's VCR pointing at its front tables that happened to catch the van across the street at night is going to give you the level of resolution. Well, I guess you could just push the enhance button.
That's fine. You've been very generous with the clues already. All right, so we don't know, but hey, actually, Dale, can I do? Yes. Can I have a whole box of tapes, right?
Yes.
All right. So can we say I go back to a week before at the same time? The same time, like 2 a.m. to 4 a.m., but the previous Wednesday or whatever it would be.
You're wondering if this is a pattern.
Yeah.
This is a one-time thing.
This is a one-time thing. Okay, so it never shows up again.
Right.
Perfect. So there's not much point in doing a stakeout to figure out if this guy is coming back or not. But we do have a clue about this train of centipedes that was going up. Does the centipedes happen on the same day?
No. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
So I would love to give you more clues. I'm just picturing the situation, and I don't know what else you could get out of this. Like, it wasn't a corporate van. It was some guy. And what do you got that could help?
We could. Oh, and Patterson is lying on his back, on his head out. We can talk to Mistress Lily. She helped me. I bet she's real friendly. Come on, I'll show you where she is. And he stumbles up, trips over the duvet a little bit, opens the door real wide, and starts walking down the hall.
Perhaps Mistress Lily makes room calls.
Oh, okay, that's a good idea. He comes back, thump, 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 thump. Comes back down from the hall, opens the door again, closes it, and lies back down on the bed, and picks up the phone and it says, "Hello, front desk. Hello,
front desk.
Hi, front desk.
Hello, this is the front desk.
What's it like being a desk?"
Most droll, sir.
Fantastic. Listen, that Mistress Lily person, is she available for a room call?
She is with another client at this moment, but she should be available soon.
Okay, well, good. Thank you. I'll place an order for one Miss Lily. Also, who shaved my back?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. You're an asset to your prevention. And he puts down the phone. And
So, Mistress Lily, who shaved your back, will be coming to see you.
good.
So, perhaps we are taking this a little bit more complicatedly than we need to. We've been spending a lot of time inside of human-occupied areas, and those are not generally the areas that I don't see scorpions every day. So perhaps maybe a short tour of the area around the building outside might not be a bad idea.
The kitchens, the garbage, the places where scorpion food, whatever that is, might accumulate.
Yeah, out of doors, and perhaps even after hours, as the scorpions seem to be perhaps nocturnal, at least according to our friends with the van.
Perfect.
Let me know when Mistress Lily shows up.
Now.
Okay. That's nice. I like the way you held your finger up for a moment. And then,
Just didn't want to take it from anyone else.
all right. So she comes into the room that you two gentlemen are sharing. And, well, I guess she would knock on the door.
I say, come on in, it's a party.
She tries the door, but it's a hotel, so it's locked.
Oh.
Can I go and open the door?
Yes. So is the adjoining door open? Like, are you two just going back and
I
forth?
think so, yeah.
So she comes in, and she's got a variety of massage oils. She's like, so who am I serving next?
You will be serving me, but luckily all I need is information. Have you seen any scorpions around here? Perhaps?
So I charge extra for those clients who only want to talk, I'm afraid.
Hmm. Well, you can give Arthur a massage while you're doing it then.
Yes.
Excellent. So I recommend, sir, that you start with a shower. Are you able and comfortable to do that for yourself?
Seems fine with me. I would go into the shower.
All right.
I'm taking the Falcon.
Pardon me?
I'm taking the Falcon.
Oh. All right. Well, she goes over to your mini bar and helps herself to something out of there while she's waiting for you.
All right, now that you're being retained for a massage, have you seen any bugs or insects around here?
So she is kind of looking at you expectantly before she answers that question.
I mean, I'm going to say I have some cash. Could I like wave a $50 bill or something like that?
That'll work.
All right.
So we did have an issue with some strange creatures that looked like yellowish orange land lobsters.
All right. Interesting. That sounds like an odd scorpion to me. What happened to them?
They got there was an issue 2 days ago where there was a squealing sound from room 7 in the basement, which is sealed. And I don't know what happened, but Lady Firestone called someone, and there have not been any issues with these weird lobsters since.
Oh, perfect. So you don't happen to know who the exterminator you got was, because my employer would be very interested on a recommendation.
She looks at the 50 and is like, I could try to find out.
Sure, I give her another 50.
Okay. She is going to legitimately try to find out for you. She also, if you're interested in them, could see if there are any like old shells in room 7. She doesn't have a key to room 7 in the basement, but she could try to find a way to get in there. I mean, she's not good with locks.
Oh, you know what? I think that Arthur might be able to help you. At this, get in there. Could Arthur? Could Arthur get out of the shower all ready for a massage and say, Arthur? And could I say, sorry, there's no time for a massage.
Sassis, you have not lived until you've seen the joy of a falcon just rejoicing under the falling water like some sort of rains in Africa. It's amazing. I'm ready for this massage.
That's great, Arthur. I don't think we have time for a massage. We need
she
to.
starts lighting some incense.
No. I'm gonna.
Quiet. We must have quiet.
I'm gonna try to snuff out the incense and be like, no. Let's go to the basement. Let's go to the
Tries
basement.
to sort of slap your hand and stop that. This is you. We will be done in an hour. And after that, if it is your turn, we can move on to you.
Oh, I don't want a massage.
Have you ever had one?
She's very good.
No,
I
I'm fine.
don't like him usually either, but that's
Thanks.
something else.
All right. Have fun
He
getting your
looks
massage.
incredibly, him. He looks incredibly relaxed right now.
Look at me. And he starts flopping around. I'm the best relaxed I've been in years.
I'm going to text Dr. Fang
Okay.
while Arthur's getting his massage, and I'm going to say, so Lady Firestone already hired somebody to come and deal with these glowing, unusual land lobsters a couple of days ago, and they drove a green van. That's all I know, but I did know. But we did hear that you wanted to be the first to get these odd lobsters, and I'm afraid that you may have been beaten to the punch.
So it's a while before the text gets back. I think you hear happy sounds coming from the room next door. I don't want to role play the massage. So once that's over, is your plan to head downstairs?
It's definitely my plan to head downstairs.
All right. So Dr. Fang doesn't respond immediately.
That's fine.
Okay. So I think you are taking two extremely relaxed, somewhat drugged people downstairs. You get in the elevator. It won't let you, like the basement button won't activate when you swipe your card. You take the stairs. There is a lock to get in the basement. I think Arthur is still in his robe. So, he starts hemming and hawing. The fastest thing is for you to just run upstairs, grab his equipment, run back downstairs. I'm not trying to insist on any of this. I'm speculating.
Yeah. I feel like this is all things that Vera would be trying to do because she's been at this for several hours. And, she's definitely looking at that falcon, which I think Arthur is still carrying around, right?
It is significantly damp at this point.
Yeah, but it's looking happy.
Oh, extremely happy.
Okay, great. Can we say we got some room service for the falcon as well, just so it's well fed as well?
Thank you.
But I'm gonna definitely look at that falcon and being like, we're gonna have to call in an extension on that falcon rental. Let's go. Oh.
Yes. So Arthur gets you into the basement, which is what he does.
Mm-hmm.
The basement has a number of small boxes all over the floor. None of the lights were on when you got to the basement. Do you flip them on, or are you just kind of looking in with the light of the stairwell?
I'm going to flip them on.
All right. So the roaches scatter, but I'm not sure scatter is the right word. Scatter is the word I would use for a bunch of roaches in like New York. But these roaches are a little more organized. But they still run away when you turn the lights on. A lot of them run to room 7.
Oh.
And go under the door.
See, this is why I wanted to leave Dale getting me until a good part, because how boring is it to be clipped by a car? Great. Let's see. Well, my character, how reckless is my character? Perhaps not super reckless. So perhaps she's gonna be like, "Hey, Patterson, you look like a sturdy fellow. Could you walk in front, please?"
Let's see, how drugged out is he still? How long would these happy drugs last?
It depends if you took any of the supplements they gave you.
Yeah,
You're a great big guy with a good metabolism.
True. Gosh, because it goes up against how imperative was he to begin with after he's taken all the drugs versus his government training of knowing not to take drugs on duty. and does he trust Mistress Lily? He probably does. She hasn't screwed him over, so I think he's taken an antibiotic and some of the pain meds. But I'm wondering if this is still working on his head a bit. Let's say.
Go ahead.
Oh, sometimes I do that just in case, just in case anyone has an idea. But yeah, I say it's just all right, and he sort of wraps his duvet a little tighter around his body, and he's got, let's say he's got his two catcher's mitts that he got from the store, and he is cautiously moving forward as cautiously as he can with the towards room number 7.
All right. And where's the green cage?
I have it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So room 7 is locked, and this lock is a better lock than the lock to get into the basement. How good a locksmith are you feeling right now? Do you think that you can open this without rolling? And if you do you trip the silent alarm?
Okay. I would say without rolling, I open it, but do trip the silent alarm. So we should probably roll then, is what I'm thinking.
As you wish.
All right. Rolling for the... Oh, well, what am I rolling for? I guess is the question.
I think you want to open the door?
Just the opening? Okay.
Without tripping the silent alarm, I guess.
Yes. Well, okay. I'll take it. It's a 1 and a 6, which makes 7.
All right. I think you open the door. So, this room is also dark. Do you reach in and grope for a light switch?
Yes.
All right. So, why do you regret doing that?
Oh boy, you're certainly asking some questions of a person who perceives time in a manner that is different from normal human beings. Normally, regret follows something happening.
So you have reached in,
and I have found something that's not a light switch. But the lights come on anyway. The lights aren't on a switch; they're on a motion sensor.
All right.
That requires something larger than, say, cockroaches, which would be my hand.
So now that the lights are on, what can you see about what you touched?
Well, they're on me now.
Oh, all right. Yeah. So there are cockroaches on your hand.
Mm-hmm.
And there are cockroaches on the floor. They are not running away this time. There are a bunch of glass cases in the room, a couple of which are cracked, all of which are without anything on top. On the against the far wall is a counter with a bunch of electronic equipment,
Huh.
and the equipment and the entire counter are they're just covered with cockroaches. And just off center is a box, and it is the only thing on this counter that I wouldn't use the word covered for, because on top of the box is just one probably cockroach, but it's larger than any cockroach you've ever seen.
Okay, that's new.
The size of a cat?
No, I would say the size of a fist.
Like I've spent a good number of months now at this point in Alamara. I'm used to the filth and levels of cockroaches, but this large one is not normal.
Right. So let's put it at like about 15 centimeters.
Yikes.
And no signs of scorpions. It's all just cockroaches. So.
I would. There are no live scorpions. There certainly are things that might be carapaces that were voluntarily shed, or there might have been a fight in here.
Gosh, I haven't seen an insect-related battle this bad since a certain barn dance. I think that's neither. That's a dream I had. That's never mind.
That's the drugs talking.
It's the drugs talking. Well, folks, looks like we got a room full of roaches.
And a handful of roaches. So the roaches on Arthur's hand are sort of. You're wearing a robe now, is that right? You've got the robe on from after the massage?
I think we established that, yeah.
Okay, so they are going to get on the sleeve of your robe, and they're going to fly, sort of tugging you toward the far counter. Now, there's nothing here. They can't compel you to do anything. They're just sort of indicating.
Cool, I'm going to shake them off.
Oh, okay, that'll work.
That was odd. What do they do once I shake them off?
They join their fellow roaches.
Okay,
Are they like organized and lined up and stuff?
Not like army ants, no.
Right.
But they're certainly all focused on this one very big roach.
Interesting. Just we've already seen organized centipedes, right? And now we've seen organized cockroaches.
So,
the centipedes were more organized.
I shake my arm off. I close the door.
Okay. You pull it shut.
Yeah. So what's going on there?
I don't know, but it's freaking me out a little bit.
Can I crack the door a bit and just sort of without going in?
I think that's rhetorical.
All right, I'm gonna crack the door and be like, "Hello, Chief Cockroach."
Bold.
Wow.
Do I get any response? This is perhaps me talking more than my character, but I want to move this along.
Yes. I think you do not hear the response because your fillings aren't picking up the signals.
I was just about to go. I was just about to say, what do my fillings say? Yes, what what do my fillings tell me?
I recommend that you roll some dice for that information. You don't have to. You never have to roll dice in this game. Seriously, anytime there's a contest, you can always choose to just storytell what happens. But I think you'll get a better result with a good dice roll than you would from just storytelling what happens. I could be wrong about that. Maybe we just want to storytell it.
Well, we're in this for a good story, but I think a good dice roll will make it a better story. Let's do that. Right. Let's see. I got a 4 and a 6.
Nice.
Darn. Okay. Yeah, I'm very happy with that.
All right. So you're getting some nervousness and some sense of being lost and wanting a better situation.
All right. And just feelings, no words, just a sensation.
The words aren't in a language you understand is sort of the issue, but I think you're getting some sort of understanding out of it. Although you did also get a 4. What does the 4 give you?
The 4 might tell me that this feeling is coming from the cockroaches. Like it could be just because he's started to hear voices in his head long before, but the idea that he's connecting the dots, perhaps that
Okay, so the cockroaches are an additional voice. So you've been hearing all of these voices.
Okay.
And now there is a voice that wasn't there, but is responding to sort of being addressed.
Okay.
And this new voice is in a pretty crappy situation and wants a better situation.
All right. And I vocalize this to my compatriots, and I say, friends, I realize that my brain has been compromised in more ways than one, not just by foul drugs, but also by psychic cockroaches. Hear me out. Listen, this I don't want to freak anybody out here, but I'm getting a strong sense. Call it an interrogator's hunch. Is a expression I've just made up that these cockroaches want something. I don't think I'm not sure. I don't think they mean us harm. I think they're uncomfortable, and I'm getting a sort of distress, a feeling of perhaps this isn't a good place to be. And I think the cockroaches are talking to me through my teeth. It's just this. I'm putting my cards on the table here, folks. I'm dressed in a duvet. I need some help. I just wanted to be honest with people.
I mean, I can totally understand how they could find this hotel lacking in amenities. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah. Chief Cockroach, am I to believe you would like to be removed from this situation and are looking for a suitable place to live, perhaps?
So the Chief Cockroach's idea of a suitable place is perhaps not Vera's idea of a suitable place, but certainly images of roaches versus weird lobster, scorpion, mutant things. They are cornered. They are outgunned, as it were. Because each of these things was killing a lot of roaches. So I think that's a yes.
Interesting. So you were attacked by scorpions, by colorful scorpion bugs. What happened to them? Are they coming back?
I don't think she is as smart as you are giving her
Right.
for. She's afraid of these things. She has memory of them killing a bunch of the other roaches, and she can remember trying to get the other roaches to defend her.
Right. Did she have a memory of where they came from, like an opening in the wall or a crack or anything?
I don't think anything that specific.
Interesting. Well then.
Well then, I am going to say, new roach friends, we would like to ensure that what has happened to your group does not happen again. We would like to remove these scorpions, to get rid of them. Is there any way we can be of assistance? Any way you could assist us in assisting you? Help us help you, roaches.
Okay. So I think the queen is just gonna come over to you
Okay.
and stop by your feet.
All right. I look down at it nervously, and really feeling my teeth for any feelings of violence on the part of the roach, and hoping that it is feeling kindly.
So I think the roach is feeling afraid.
All right.
And once she stops being on that thing, all the other roaches go back to just being regular roaches and try to hide from the light.
Interesting. So it's her. What was? Can I investigate what she's sitting on?
It's just a cardboard box.
Can I try to open the cardboard box with the end of my net?
Thank you.
So this is not going to be a useful avenue. She's special. The room is not special. The room is where they retreated to in the fight.
Okay, interesting. All right.
There's stuff in here. We can explore it, but, we're over time already.
Okay. Hold on. Could I? All right. Well, I'm gonna tear off one of because it's a cardboard, so it's got 4 panels at the top. I'm gonna tear off one of the top panels.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a little rectangle of cardboard. I'm gonna open up my cage. I'm gonna put the rectangle of cardboard down and see if it sparks or anything like that.
It does not.
All right. I'm gonna say, I believe if you go in there and sit on the cardboard, you will be safe, and we can escort you out of here.
Okay. So that's gonna work.
Perfect.
And is the plan to just hand her over to Dr. Fang?
Oh, absolutely not. Dr. Fang didn't ask for a psychic cockroach, but I think that perhaps the cockroach would be very happy at that knockoff McDonald's. Think about all the food she could eat, all the alcohol, so many other roaches for her to command there, almost certainly interesting parties for her to visit, people, right?
Okay. So that will work. She will be pleased with you. And Dr. Fang was disappointed to hear that she won't be first. If you grabbed one of the carcasses or shell things, she would be very interested in that.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah, sure.
And since that didn't work, she's going to give you something else to do.
Perfect.
Which we will see in a week. So please join us next Monday for more Dice Friends. This has been episode 1 of Fang and Claw. This episode, like everything we do, was brought to you by you. So thank you for that. If you want to support this sort of thing, you can do so at patreon.com/LoadingReadyRun or by becoming a member here on YouTube. Thanks very much. See you in a week.